on point today.
Why, thank you. I threw this on after cleaning up a poopy butt.
You're so excited to finally be able to share in the poopy butt conversation.
I am. Well, it was like the previous 20 minutes of my life before I got immediately on this call. So
yeah, I was making way too much soulless eyeshadow.
That'll happen.
Which is also soulless.
You definitionally yes. The thing is, there's a lot of it because I don't know if you've noticed, but soulless fangirls are really intense. So I super hope that I will sell all of this.
I definitely have not noticed that because they're not part of that community.
There you go.
I went to Max Vajra, whoever.
Thank you.
No, Internet knows his name. We went to the...
It's not Internet, it's me. I'm the one who freaks out about real names. Oh my god, who's Max?
Well, I just started recording on YouTube, so, you know, to the Internet. But we went to the game store today, and... actually, no, I'm going to save this for the actual show. Never mind.
Isn't this the actual show?
No, this isn't the actual show yet. It can be, though, in a moment when I start the show.
So... we're waiting on you, slacker.
Oh my god, have I talked about my cat's poopy butt yet? Okay.
This is gonna be a great day.
I love this show already. It's Saturday number 2. Let's do it. Drink. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cat Context Podcast, episode 103 for the week of September 4th, 2016. We're on Saturday number 2 right now because we're recording on Labor Day weekend, which is a delightful thing. With me today, as usual, are my two co-hosts, Airlaid and Alindriel. Do I always say my name in the intro? I don't think I ever do. I'm Leor. Hi. And then we're going to talk about stuff. It took me 103 episodes to kind of be like, but who am I? Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery. We're going to talk about PAX, because PAX West was this weekend, and I was there. We're also going to talk about Legion, because it launched like a week and a half ago, and there's lots of stuff to talk about it. But before I do that, Ellie, how's your weekend going?
Okay. I don't know, what day is it? Sunday? Yeah, yes. We went to a train festival yesterday and rode like a old-timey steam engine train on a farm from
Was it painted like Thomas?
No, it wasn't.
That
would have been sweet though.
I can't just I couldn't decide if you were like happy at the idea or just kind of terrified. I was like,
no, it was a little column A and a little column B.
I waited for like 40 minutes to go on like a 5-minute train ride. It was but it was fun. It was very loud.
That is what I look for in my outdoor adventures. How loud is it? Is it going to be really loud? Great, I'm there. Well, that sounds like fun. Taking the little one out to, you know, engage with the world. I hear that's something that you parents do.
It's the thing that you occasionally need to do. Yeah, I also got to have dinner with one of my cousins who's in the U.S. from Israel, so that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I went to a hipster a hipster restaurant in San Francisco. And I think I was able to get in because it is both PAX and Burning Man this weekend, so the hipster places in San Francisco are kind of cleared out.
And Dragon Con.
And Dragon Con, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's this weekend too, yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. And if you're in Seattle, it's also the music festival known as Bumbershoot, which is like the big, huge music festival. So basically everybody is somewhere this weekend.
A lot of them are in Seattle.
Yeah. That's true.
Doesn't college football also open this year?
College football also started yesterday?
There was a Husky game yesterday, I think. So
definitely have been in PAX when like the crews from LSU or whoever come and are like, "Hey guys, we're gonna take over the city," and they're like, "Why are there so many nerds here? I don't get it."
Right? Yeah, you're way outnumbered here, guys. Era, how's your weekend been?
My weekend is basically every time you ask me this, like the next 3 times, I'm going to have the same answer, which is my life is Geek Girl Con. I sat down and I think I've made like 150 bottles of nail polish in the last week. There was a point where like the Overwatch line is way too much glitter, which I'm sure you know because you own some. And like in the right light, I glowed like a Cullen. It was really disturbing. Because I make it bottle by bottle because I don't usually make it in bulk. Usually it's a single bottle at a time, which is fine. But now I'm making in bulk, and then the glitter gets everywhere, and it's all over me. And like people pay for this kind of makeup, and it's just come to my house and it will waft over you for a while. And the children don't know who I am. Everything smells weird.
Sounds great.
It's super exciting and fun.
But everything is on track for Geek Girl Con. I thought about us being at Geek Girl Con as I watched, like, I don't know, sad, hangry people at their booths at PAX, and I thought that's going to be me.
I already have packed an entire box of Quest bars just in case. Like I
was going to say, are you hiring a food runner for this?
No, I hired Lior.
I think that's me.
Did Lior get an extra ticket for Vajra so he can like bring you sandwiches and stuff?
No, just go meet him at the door. He can't come in Geek Girl Con.
No. He's not invited. He's got cooties.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And not because he's not a girl, but just because he's Vajra.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's true.
But he can be on food running duty, so yeah, it'll be fine.
But I also bought my plane tickets this week, so now it's like super real.
Ooh.
Yeah, like this shit is actually happening. I'm ready to get on a plane, which terrifies me. By the way.
We'll treat you right here in Seattle. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm sure you will. It's the act of getting from Tennessee to Washington that's the problem. Like usually I get around the way God intended in a car, but there's like mountains and shit in the way, and yeah, I'd have to take an extra week off to drive there. And that I was thinking about it. I thought real hard about it.
Sometimes, like when I'm planning a trip, because I also don't like to fly, and I'll be like, let's take the train. That sounds romantic, the train, you know. And then you look at like how long it's going to be on a train, and I'm like, maybe like 32 hours straight on a train is not the romantic, idyllic trip in the wilderness I think it's going to be.
I think it would be if you had a private car and like it had an AC outlet so you could read books and watch the countryside go by. That sounds kind of dreamy to me.
So they usually do have power these days, don't they? Just like airplanes. So
airplanes have power? Okay. Yeah. That's good. I have a special battery pack for my phone because that's how the credit card is going to work at the con.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I sure hope there's still...
You just sign up with Square or whatever?
No, actually, Etsy has its own little thingy, so I can still sell through Etsy, cool. And Etsy also handles all the sales tax and shit. So I don't have to worry about any of the monetary parts of running a business, which is what I wanted when I got into this. There's no math. Everything else will do the math for me.
Right.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So, Lior, you're responsible for cash. Don't embezzle.
The power. Yes, I can be relied on for that. Even if American money is still kind of confusing to me, I can still.
I mean, it's
all the same color.
Look at the
what
number.
The fuck? Why do you do that?
Well, it's all the same color. I don't know.
Because color is a terrible way to identify things.
And it's all the same size.
Some people can't see colors, and if it's all the different sizes.
There are any people who actually see in black and white, except for John Doe in the show that I'm still bitter about getting canceled on a cliffhanger.
Wow, I really admire the way you worked that in there.
I'm sorry, my beer is a 9.1 ABV, so I'm real excited to be here right now.
Wow! All right, that sounds great. Well, speaking of the nails and things, I went today to a game store with Vajra, and one of the things I bought was tiny little brushes for... they're technically for painting models, but I'm going to use them to do nail art. Because I'm wearing the Diva polish right now, and I'm going to paint the little white bunny symbol that she has.
As well you should!
On top of the Diva polish.
I've actually been seriously thinking about getting into stamping, because stamping little plaid designs is super cute!
Yes.
I feel like I'm on the wrong podcast.
No, you can do this too! There is no rule that says you can't paint your nails.
That's true.
Social acceptance is one manicure at a time.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah, you should put that on your
Cosmetics are for everyone.
It is true. They are. They're for anyone who wants to wear them.
I don't say that just because I sell them. I seriously mean this is one of those times where the sexism can be erased by making sure everyone has equal opportunity to the thing.
It's true. You too can paint little diva bunnies on your fingernails if you wanted to.
And you should. Everyone who wants to paint their nails should paint their nails.
Sounds awesome.
I have super, and if you subscribe to feminine and masculine colors, I have lots of super masculine colors. In fact, Solus is a nice forest green. It would look super good on you.
No.
Every episode, Arrow tries to convince Ellie to start painting his nails, and so far,
Jack is straight up black.
I don't feel she's made a lot of progress so far.
One of these days, I'm just gonna show up with painted nails, and then she'll be happy.
I'm always happy with you.
Okay, this is getting weird. I don't know.
Did I mention the 9.1 ABV?
Yeah, no, that's rocking it out. I am a little jealous.
I may need to pause and go refill it from my keg fridge wherein this lives. Yeah, this is draft beer.
Oh, that's even better. Did you make it?
No, I have a keg fridge with 2 taps. And there are a whole lot of super hipster microbreweries in Nashville.
Yeah.
There are a lot of hipster everything in Nashville, and yet I have.
Do you go to that place with all the plates?
Unfair.
Do you go to the place with all the plates?
I rarely go to the place with the plates here because downtown is really far away, but I actually have a plate in Memphis.
Oh, sweet.
The place with the plates.
I've been to the place with the plates.
You have a place with the plates too? That's awesome.
No, I've been to the one in Nashville.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
When? Hopefully it was a million years ago. There wasn't going to kick your ass.
It was before you were there. It was a few years ago. My brother was in grad school there. So, yeah. And we went to the place with the plates around graduation.
Yes, I actually have a plate at the one in Memphis.
Awesome.
And I timed it so it was on September 9th, 2009 because I am that badass.
Wow.
This is all really weird.
So the place with the plates.
No, don't tell me. No, I'm better off. I'm better off not.
You have to
You
have to drink a bunch of something to get a plate. Right?
This is my home bar, hipster bar. What they do, they specialize in draft beers from everywhere. Like they have 300 beers on tap.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's the whole point of the place. And what you do is you sign up for a thing called the UFO Club because the bar is called the Flying Saucer. Mm-hmm. And if you try 200 different beers, then you are on the Wall of Fame, and you get a plate with your name on it and the date that you had your 200th beer. Mm-hmm. And you can run around the circle more than once and get different.
I can get 2 plates.
No, well, you can sign up. I know a dude who got 3 plates because he had 3 names. So he put 1 name on each plate. Nice. Basically, what that was he bought the same 200 beers 3 times.
Oh, sure.
Right, so you try 200 different beers, and you review them, and you get your name on a plate, and they throw you a party with a big tab on the bar. So free beer for the whole table, which is awesome. And then it's there forever. And I'm sad because I moved away from the city where my plate is, but I have a picture of it.
Yeah, well, that's good. Plus, years from now, somebody will see your plate, and they'll be like, I wonder who got that sweet plate.
Right, on September 9th, 2009. That's awesome. Right. Yeah, number 325.
I was just waiting. Core's texted me that he is pleased that Arrow is drunk already.
I am kind of a lightweight now.
Yeah, me too. I've been getting headaches, and it sucks. Every time I drink, I get a horrible headache, and it's bullshit.
That's bad.
I know. I need to do some proper experimentation where I just drink and get horrible headaches for science so that I can figure out what I can drink.
That's true. Yeah, that'd be the way to do it, to put things down.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of video games.
Wow, we've had some pretty amazing segues in this show. Thanks, Lior. I think that's the best one so far. I'm going to need some more beer.
Yeah. Yesterday I went to PAX. Penny Arcade Expo, which is now being branded as PAX West, because there's PAX East, PAX South, and PAX Australia. So we are no longer PAX Prime, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah. PAX West was here in town.
San Antonio.
Yeah. So I was there for the day yesterday, and I can't decide, have I changed or has PAX changed?
Both.
It's probably both. And I think part of the problem is now with 4 of them, companies have to split their, convention budget in 4 to be present for them, for the big companies like Bethesda and whatnot. There was nothing really exciting. I mean, and maybe I'm just not that. I mean, there was like a big lineup for Horizon Zero Dawn, which I think looks good. But I knew that before I got to PAX.
What is that?
That's the one with the mecha dinosaurs and the badass lady.
Where they like kill and eat robot dinosaurs.
Sounds sweet.
Yeah. It is sweet. Oh, you're like, wait a second, that's awesome.
I am here for adventure games with lady protagonists.
Yes.
Right here, all the time. Please just take my money. Even if it's a shitty game. What was that? Were you saying something about my beer?
No. Oh, yes. I don't know how to answer that. Yes, maybe. Would you like me to be saying something about your beer?
I am happy to be here today.
Oh boy! Thank God it's the long weekend. So yeah, I mean, and I think there was like Battlefield 1, and there's a new Call of Duty, I think, but like personally, there was no premier marquee game that I was super excited. Blizzard was there for the first time in a long time in force, but their booth was entirely dedicated to Legion.
The last time I remember them being there was for Burning Crusade.
That is definitely a
fry-face
situation.
The one with the goblins. Goblins? Cataclysm?
Cataclysm, yeah.
Yeah, because I stood in line to play a goblin.
Right, and I kind of thought that they would be there with Overwatch, but there was no mention of Overwatch. It was all Legion all the time.
Huh.
Maybe they're saving everything for BlizzCon, which is next weekend?
It's November, BlizzCon.
Oh, is it? God. Then why the hell do people keep talking about, oh my god, BlizzCon is coming? Because
they're very excited for BlizzCon, but that is a different thing that I can be cynical about in November. But yeah, so, and I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I have a bad case of PAX used to be cool, but now it's not.
Now it's mainstream, you hipster?
Well, I mean, sort of, yeah. It used to be smaller, and it was more about interacting with the people at the booths, and even the panels this year were all very like, so you want to be a game journalist, so you want to be a Twitch streamer, so you want to be in game development. Like, it's either maybe I'm just too old now and I'm not, but I don't know. I didn't get a lot of like for the love of the game happening there.
Yeah, so that definitely, so I haven't been to PAX in 3 years, maybe 4 now, and definitely, I didn't stop going because of that. I stopped going because shit kept happening on Labor Day, and now I have a kid, and it's hard to go with a wee babby.
Unless you go to a con that's got, like, I don't know, childcare services, which Dragon Con does, apparently. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
But yeah, I got totally the same feel. And Leo, you and I have both been going to PAX for a long time, right? I think my first was 2008, maybe. So
yeah, I'm about the same.
The first couple of years I went was very much like it wasn't full. Like there was like the developers of the indie, not just the indie games, but also the bigger games were there, and those were the people you talked to. The indie games were mixed in with the big games, and by the end, it very much felt like walking a convention floor with lines and lots of people, and why am I here? I'm not even gonna get to sit and play. Like, because I remember some of the first few times I went, you just walk around and you just be like, oh, that looks cool. There's nobody playing it. I'll go stand. Now, like, there's just not empty open consoles anywhere to play.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily need awesome swag thrown at me all the time, but on the other hand, like, the swag bag this year was nothing but advertisements. It was all just flyers, which
Ew.
You want a little, like, I'm not trying to be like you have to give me lots of free stuff, but it feels very much like here's the rope, and you may not, cross the rope. And I just was not super, we went. It was fun to see people. We had lunch with a bunch of people who were in town, which was the best part of it.
Yeah,
we went for like 4 hours on the floor, and we're just like, okay.
Yeah, so I had like the last couple of years I had way more fun at stuff that wasn't the floor. And I think if I went back, it would be the same. I found a lot of panels I liked, which is cool. It's fun to go to panels, and they don't maybe they release them. I think they still do a DVD of the panels and stuff. I don't really, or Blu-ray.
I think most of them are Twitch streamed now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, so then it's like less important to go because like I've never asked the question in a panel. Like a couple of times I've stayed after and tried to talk to people because you used to be able to do that too, and you still kind of can at panels. But like, yeah, it just part of it definitely is me being older, but I also think it has gotten I legitimately think it got more corporate and advertising. And since we started going, E3 shut down, or E3 scaled back, right? It closed to the public and all of that. So this basically became the consumer con. And so, I think it just took over that space. So then it became the advertising place and not the sort of come interact with developers space that it started as.
Yeah, and even like back in the day, some of the panels I went to were like panels for weird little podcasts and stuff like that. And now it seems like because it's a lot bigger, they sort of pitch for a much higher caliber of experience for presenters, which is cool, but it means you don't have like those weird little panels anymore, which I really enjoyed. They're very much, celebrity game, celebrity-driven panels now, and that's less appealing to me.
Right. It's like you kind of already have to be internet famous to have a panel, not use a panel to become internet famous, right? Like,
right.
Or like to not even talk about that.
Right, and not even like I put in an interesting, like, okay, maybe I could be wrong, and maybe every a panel submission they had that was interesting was by someone who was already internet famous, but there didn't seem to be any sort of someone came up with an interesting panel. They don't, like, no one knows who they are, but let's give them a platform. And so I'm just sort of wondering, I'm not sure what their qualifications were for picking people who got the panels. I don't know.
Well, it's a lot. It's just because it's so big and crowded. Like, I think it's easy to not have. I mean, it's easy to not take those risks, right? Because you don't want to have panels, right?
You say that though, but
they've already spread to like multiple different hotels in the area, and the Magic thing took the theater this year, so they like didn't even have the big stage, like. I don't know. I think they do want the community. I mean, nominally it's about that, and I legitimately think that the people who run PAX care about the community, like the community that they've built.
But Dragon Con is huge, like ridiculously huge, and has been huge forever, and they still have weird, quirky panels.
Yeah, but that's like Dragon Con's thing.
But it has nothing to do with the size or the caliber of celebrity guests, because Dragon Con gets, A-list people to come in and sign, and they still get little quirky panels and stuff.
Is Dragon Con's like fantasy, right?
Dragon Con is everything.
Dragon Con's like nominally cosplay, but then not.
Like I don't know if they still do it, but a million years ago they used to have like an entire. There was a woman I knew who ran an entire Pern section where they would have, panels about, the games and the books, and they do a little hatching with balloons and things for little kids. And
I think that fantasy fiction fans are a different group than video game fans. Like, I know we have like a fantasy fiction conference here in Seattle called NorwestCon, and the people who go there are 100% different from the people who go to PAX. It is a totally different audience.
Right.
There's that might help different audience for anime cons. There are a lot of really huge anime cons too that still get A-list guests. But that's an interesting way to look at it, because something like Worldcon is still different from Dragon Con, is different from Anime Central, is different from PAX, I guess.
Well, I mean, like, what did Comic-Con started that way, right? And now Comic-Con is like
Comic-Con is 100% corporate.
Right, but it didn't start that way.
Out of fear,
but it didn't start that way either, right? And PAX is kind of what Comic-Con has become. It's like, except that Comic-Con gets announcements and stuff, and PAX doesn't even get announcements.
No. Although there was one announcement. Well, there was an announcement about Legion, which we can talk shortly when we talk about Legion. But in general, you're right. There's not a lot of announcements, and honestly, like it might just be an off time for video games because there really wasn't a lot on the floor that I was like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that, or I want to see more about that. And I mean.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that, like Legion and Deus Ex, that is already out, which is sort of weird.
Yeah.
I find it amusing. Ellie, you will know this, and anyone who's been to PAX Prime will know this. The corner booth that Spy Party always has every year, they're still there.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
really?
Is that game even out yet? Spy Party? I've been there like pretty much like every 8 years I've been to PAX. There's been a Spy Party booth. I'm like, The one thing that was super cool that I did not play because I wasn't going to wait in line for it, but Pyre, the new Supergiant game, was there.
Oh yeah, see, they've had big long lines forever. Yeah, I mean, Magic did an announcement, but it's also because they have their they have a big, high prestigious tournament and gave away $250,000 in prizes among the 24 players, and so they did a big announcement, but it's an announcement for the next set, which is like. Not that big of a deal since it was going to come out in 2 or 3 months. Like it is a weird time with games, right? Like because games have started to push, or like some of the MMOs are less popular, I think, than they used to be. There just aren't as many, so they're not pushing as much. We're not quite at the place where they're ready to demo and show off holiday stuff yet. I think we're like a month too early for that, so it's just like PAX is a weird place, and I feel like that wasn't always the case. I feel like there were a lot more like October, November releases but I don't know if that's actually true or it's just because I didn't pay as close attention.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think and even like asking people, I'm like, well, what's the premiere game that you're here to see and that you're excited about, and I didn't get a lot of answers. They're just, they're happy to be at PAX, which is cool. And I'm glad that people are still going to PAX and having a great time. And I think it's become more and more, it's about seeing everybody.
Yeah, that's definitely. Oh, well, I mean, I think the crowds we ran in have all been going to PAX for long enough that they're probably all similarly jaded. Whereas, like, if you find the crews that are like coming to their first or second or third PAX, like. It's probably different. I definitely remember having game of the show, like sort of like game of the show that was like nobody expected, like constantly, and then by the end just being like, oh yeah, I went and saw the new Borderlands game, which I was already interested in. I went and saw like the new Warcraft expansion that I was already interested in, and like the first couple of years, like I came away with like. There was like a WrestleMania game that like everybody that I talked to had randomly played and loved without whether or not they liked playing wrestling games because it was just a random thing. They had 30 consoles and like no line to play and everybody played it.
Yeah, I remember when there was this little booth in the back for this little game called Borderlands, and I was watching it, and I'm like, wow, this game looks really cool. It's got a really cool art style. I'm going to remember to check this out.
Torchlight was like that. Like, we talked to the devs for a long time and, like, gave, like, legitimate feedback that it sounded like they would go and implement, like, the next week, right? Because they just had a bunch of booths there, and that was one of those games. So just everybody I talked to was like, yeah, you guys seen Torchlight? You should go check out Torchlight. And I didn't find, I mean, maybe it's probably still this way. Plus, they've kind of pushed all the like indie and small games like off into the corner. We talked about this. We started to talk about this, how they have the like top floor now. It's like the indie game area and the diversity game area or whatever. Diversity lounge, like, and it's good that they have that because it allows them to do other things. But and the indie games thing is cool because if that's what you're into, you know where to go, right? But when I first started going, it was definitely interweaved, and you'd like just be like, oh, I'm next to Bethesda. Oh, and there's this cool little, I think that I felt like that changed things, but I don't know that it was necessarily a mistake.
Yeah, I think you're right. I remember Torchlight as being a good one to mention because that was definitely one of those games that I saw at PAX, and I was much more interested from having seen it at PAX, if I'd even heard of it at all. And even the PAX 10 this year. Like, it's so packed. Like, I usually every year I get to play one of them. Not even a chance. Like, it was hot. It was packed full of people. I'm just like, whatever. Keep moving with the crowds.
Some of that is definitely getting older because I have so much less tolerance for standing in a crowd of people.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. But
there's a lot of VR games this year. There was like a whole section for VR games.
That's cool. Did you play any?
Of course there were.
No, I didn't play any of them. I want to strap one of those things to my head. I did my hair. Which is one of the things we're going to have to overcome.
We are going to have to overcome that because we're all going to be there in a couple of years. Well, maybe not, but hopefully a little.
Yeah, I don't know, VR, I don't know if it's going to be a real game thing, so we'll have to see. So anyway, so PAX, it was a little...
That is controversial.
Well, no, I think VR is going to be cool for lots of stuff like 3D architecture and medical stuff, and not necessarily games.
Yeah, like I said, that's controversial.
That's cool. Controversy. We cater to controversy here on Cat Context. So yeah, PAX. I'm glad I went, but definitely, like, I spent like 4 hours, 5 hours, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to come back. I'm glad
Were
I
you able to buy tickets through the normal purchasing process, or did you have to go secondhand?
I did buy them through the normal process.
Oh, cool. How was it compared to previous years?
Oh, it was the same chaotic mess. Like, I just happened to be there like 12 seconds when the announcement.
Yeah. Do I still do the thing where they just don't say anything about it, and then randomly one day on Twitter are like, oh, by the way, PAX Prime tickets are open right now?
I literally sat down with my lunch and had salad up to my mouth, and it's like, bing, PAX Prime tickets are on sale now. And I'm like, oh, God, all right. Buy some tickets.
Lettuce everywhere.
Right. Yeah. It was chaos.
It's so dumb. Like we've solved these problems. There's lottery systems for Comic-Con and BlizzCon, and Major League Baseball has lottery systems.
They're still terrible.
They are still terrible, but it's not as terrible as, oh, you happened to get the Twitter notification and I didn't yet.
Right, exactly. Or I was in a meeting and now I don't have tickets to PAX, which I know happened to more than one person.
Constantly.
Yeah, so it is a pretty ludicrous system. I mean, it was full of people. I do love the joie de vivre at PAX. You know, everyone's very happy, and you start to get like in the perimeter. You know, we were walking there, and you get about 3 blocks away. You start seeing everyone in cosplay, and lots of Overwatch cosplay, lots of divas.
Oh, that's cool.
Overwatch cosplay was definitely the big thing to do.
I know there was lots of Mercy cosplay, or at least one, because she was doing a particular Mercy skin and requested nail polish to match.
Nice! That's awesome!
Right?
Yeah, so it was fun, and I'm glad I went. I feel like I'm not even sure I'm going to go next year. We'll have to see.
Well, you know, you're in Seattle, so it's easy to get there. Yeah. I find it harder and harder to like amp myself up to even try and go, because I'd rather just like come to Seattle and hang out with the people I want to hang out with. The only problem is like there are groups of people that show up that weekend from across the country, and that's the main reason to go that weekend, but I don't need to go to PAX.
Yeah, and even less so now because of the 4 different PAXs. A lot of people go to South or East and skip
although like
West.
sometimes the parties and stuff are fun. And you usually need a PAX pass to go to the parties.
You do. Yeah, we skipped the parties this year. There wasn't any that I was particularly into. I think there was an NC Soft party that would have been okay, but Sarah's gone.
Everyone for
No, I'm not gone. More beer is coming.
Oh, okay. The camera's been turned off.
She requested I turn off the camera.
So maintain the mystery of the whole thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what your favorite game from PAX was, but sounds like...
A game I kickstarted 3 years ago was at PAX.
Oh, yeah?
I'm super excited to get a beta of very soon. I have the camera off. You're fine.
Is that
Yes. Shouty says hi. She brought me beer.
Hi, guys. Hi. Oh, my God. You're so pretty.
The microphone is still on, even if the camera is on. You know.
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm going to edit that into the podcast.
That was amazing.
Yay! Oh, the beer! Something
beer.
The magic beer elf came.
The beer fairy brought me beer. Lior was pretty.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, but you didn't try any VR games, so.
I did not try any VR games. I didn't try any games because all the lines were stupid long and I just couldn't be bothered. Yeah, I'm trying to think about anything that I saw. I mean, really, Horizon Zero Dawn, but I already knew I was going to be into that. I watched like 30 seconds of the Pyre demo, and I was like,
sure
"There's no point in
beautiful
standing."
and stunning because you're going to buy it regardless. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. They were like, "You want to stand in line?" It's like a 30-minute demo, which 30-minute demo is fantastic. But on the other hand, I'm just gonna buy it. So.
It's a 30-minute demo, which is awesome. But
I don't need the trailer if I'm gonna go see the movie.
Right. The problem is the line is 2 hours long because it's a 30-minute fucking demo.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, it's Supergiant, so it's going to punch you in the heart over and over. The soundtrack is going to be amazing. The art direction is going to be stunning. I will be internet famous because I figured out the VB script to pull the assets out of the game, and that's,
Wow, we got this all mapped out. All right. Cool.
I know how Supergiant works.
One of the folks who was at the blogger Twitter lunch that I put together said that she played it, and combat was a lot more like Bastion, but you kind of got to pick your weapons like Transistor.
That is also awesome.
So that sounds like
you kind of had to pick your weapons in Bastion too.
Well, I think more like building skills together, like in Transistor.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to set up a lunch for us for Geek Girl Con?
I can set up a lunch for Geek Girl Con. I can
so people will discover that I actually exist.
Yeah, I can do that. I didn't want to, terrify you.
Presume. Yeah.
Well,
you just have to get her. You just have to get her like.
Look, Aaron, we've actually only been able to see your face for like, I don't know, under 6 months now after knowing you for almost a decade. So
has it seriously been that long? Jesus Christ, that's fucked up.
I'm afraid so. So I didn't want to presume that you were ready to.
I'm totally cool as long as everyone uses their internet names and not their real names. I only freak out when it's real names. Legal names fuck me up. I don't know why.
Just get her a beer before you get there. It'll be all right.
Oh yeah, we'll just get the okay. That's gonna.
No, I'm totally drinking on the flight.
Yeah,
I get into Seattle at 1:00 on Friday afternoon. Just throwing that out there.
Nice. All right, we'll work this out. The other thing that's happened recently is Legion launched. It launched officially on the 30th. What? That wasn't bad.
No,
that wasn't
no. I'm sorry. You see my beer already here.
Jeez,
I'm laughing at my own jokes that I haven't said yet.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good. Legion came out. It's been out less than a week. It officially launched on August 30th, which is a Tuesday. So maybe by the time you listen to this, it'll be out for a week. And it's really good, you guys. No, I'm being cautious because I've played this game before, both Legion and being cautious about video games. But I have to give it to Blizzard. The storytelling is actually storytelling. It exists. I am reading quests.
Did they proofread it? Because that was my problem with Cataclysm and why we broke up. Because those motherfuckers did not even give a shit whether or not they were using the right your. And I was like, if you don't care about fucking apostrophes, I don't care about my $15 fucking dollars.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, no, it's actually genuinely good. The way Legion works is once you have gone through sort of your class hall thing, you are given your choice of 4 zones in which to level up. All the mobs in the zone are your level -1 with a floor of 100. So if you're 106 and the person in your party is 104, all the mobs will be 105 and 103 to the person. So relative to yourself.
Wait, what?
All mobs.
Arithmetic, no!
All mobs
No, you
are
have,
your
like-
level -1.
Even if you're fighting with somebody who's
Yes,
not you?
they
How
will
does
see
that
it
work?
as 103. You see it as 105.
That makes no sense.
It's magic. It's instead of leveling, because usually when games do this, they bring people to the same level. They did it with the mob somehow. It's the same with dungeons. So like you're what?
Weird.
Yeah, it is. It's totally weird. So in dungeons,
To the same level.
sorry.
Why would they not just limit players to the same level rather than level
I have
up individual
no idea.
mobs? That seems
Probably because this
whatever.
way they don't have to they don't have to deal with people bitching about the fact that they don't feel as powerful as they actually are.
whatever.
Yeah. But
I mean, maybe it was something...
level -1 is already kind of dumb because it means that nothing can be hard, right?
Yeah, although there can be a lot of it. Like, it's
Okay.
the trash is pretty dense in areas, so, I think they deal with multiples when they want to increase difficulty. And all the dungeons work the same way. I don't think it's exactly the level -1, but everyone is scaled according to their level in all dungeons. So it's fun because it means that some of our, friends are already 110 because they're crazy, and, people who just started are like still 102, so you can still go into the same dungeons, everybody gets stuff out of it, everybody's happy.
That's cool. Thank God they finally did that, and apparently well-ish.
Yeah, so far it's worked really smoothly, and each of the 4 leveling zones has its own sort of, internal story. It's actually really good. Like, there's surprising character moments, and there's sad things and
Which
happy
one are you
things.
doing?
I have done High Mountain, and I don't remember their names. High Mountain and the one with all the Naga, Azuna. Azuna. God, how does she know that? And I don't.
Well, that's great segue. Here's the thing. People on Twitter have been posting their pictures of adorable battle pets and adorable transmogs looking at you, Leor. and I've been seeing all of these pictures, and I've been going, maybe I want to play a little bit. Maybe I want to do this. And so I had a friend stage an intervention as previously requested. There's a standing order for all of my friends to stage an intervention whenever I come to this point. And gave me a horrible, terrible quest spoiler for I don't know what zone. And it made me so ragingly angry that now I'm fine. Everything is fine. Wearing Ysera polish now. By the way, go fuck yourselves.
When I'm done all the stuff, I'm going to loop back on this, and I'm going to be like, what was the horrible quest spoiler?
Yeah.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
So angry. So angry.
Oh,
so angry.
I have no idea what one you could be referring to. I mean, it could partially be I've already seen it and I just didn't register with me, or I don't know.
No, it could be that it didn't register for you because it was just a fucking quest and not a goddamn raid. So angry. So angry. Still angry. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go load up Warcraft 2, and I'm going to play Warcraft 2, and I'm going to be in my happy place. I'm going to hug all my dragons, and everything's going to be fine.
Is that your happy place? All right, that's fair. Yeah, they did make an announcement at PAX. They had a panel, I believe, and their announcement was, well, first of all, looking at Karazhan, which we've already talked about, but also on Tuesday, they're launching a companion app.
Oh, yeah, okay, wait 1 second.
Wow.
Oh my god, I have to wait, and he's run off.
Shit, if I'd known I could have done that, I could have gotten my own damn bear.
Hello? Oh, you turned on the light.
You were in the cave of emo darkness.
Yeah, no, it was getting like slowly darker and darker, and I was finally like, I think I need to turn the light on. So I saw a reference to an app in the form of a reference to a Penny Arcade comic from 2010. Where they
were funny in 2010? Was that before they were funny?
I mean, I don't know. Their app they had was like, oh, you missed the raid, you can heal from their app. And like, there's an app for ganking, and like, it shows you where all the mages are or whatever. If you're playing a rogue.
I would play.
Yeah,
I would play that.
But anyway, what's this app they're launching?
What the app actually does is your class hall has, updatable orders similar to Garrison missions, so you can now update and collect them from the app. And also one of the big things they pushed in Legion is like world quests and world bosses, so you have timers on your app. But it's cool because you guys didn't play Draenor at all, did you? Did you guys do Garrisons at all? Either of you?
No, Squire.
Yeah, okay. Ellie's nodding his head, so yes. So those doing your Garrison missions.
Yeah, I totally wanted to do that from my app. I also wanted to do my follower missions in Star Wars from my app, and something in Rift I wanted to do from the app, but I can't remember what.
If they put pet battles in an app, I'm fucked.
If they put pet battles in an app, I would Talon would have been paying for the last 2 years of Warcraft subscription.
Oh, that's the other thing. I'm sorry. Mental parentheses. So, Labor Day cookout with my in-laws yesterday, and my brother and sister-in-law were like, so it's great to see all these people in the guild that we created 10 years ago, but are they all good people?
It's been a little, because, there's been like I understand. We've been thinking the same thing about them, if it helps any.
Arrow's friends and Arrow's family, never the twins shall meet.
We're all together now. No,
seriously, my brother-in-law was like, who is Lior?
So next guild meetup is in Arrow's backyard, right?
Actually, it's in my mother-in-law's backyard, apparently.
I bet you weren't expecting that at your family barbecue.
No, I wasn't. That was really, really hilarious. I actually don't even remember what their character names are. So if you see people you don't recognize, they're probably people who signed the guild charter 10 years ago, and they are
a bunch of
my family.
I know there was a bunch of questions about who the guild leader is for the guild that everybody's playing in.
Yeah, we figured out who the guild leader is, because I was like, what does that weird symbol mean? Oh, I think that means guild leader. So we figured out that. It is, because lots of people come straggling back into Legion. So I know there's probably
This was a family guild 10 years ago.
Yeah, and now I think there's probably 7 or 8 of our old Cats Guild members playing.
And then my family, and I'm not even there.
And your family, and Walks, and a bunch of people from Twitter, and So that's a thing that's going on. I can invite people to the guild, so.
I think that was the very last thing I did for you in Pandaria, was make sure that you had Lieutenant invite access.
Thank you, Arrow. But no, it's been really fun. I think everyone's been actually enjoying story, which is weird and unusual, and I'm actually reading quests, which it totally hurts my brain, but I'm doing it. And
have you ever read quests? Do you remember anything from Vanilla? No, you've never read quests.
No, I'm not really a quest reader.
I didn't even turn off the slow down or the speed up the speech for 3 expansions, so. You know how you get the mod to make the quest text go fast?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that mod at least until the first expansion, and then I left it, the thing checked so it was slow for all of them until, the last one that I played. Then I was like, nah, I'm done.
They've introduced a slightly new feature in this one, which is that characters... a little box will pop up at the bottom of the screen with their face and their text in it when they're having a conversation with you.
That's cool. That's nice because it personalizes them. And
it does.
That's one of the things that was always kind of missing in the quest text is they're this orc and that orc are basically the same orc, but I know they have different tusks. I guess they're tiny, but they look a little different. But so that's cool.
That does help a lot to do it. Yeah, I'm really impressed. Who knows in the long run, whatever. But in the short term, it's been a lot of fun. And Baja and I have really enjoyed going through each zone and doing the stories and being surprised by something.
We only have to play it for a few months and then...
Right, exactly. And as it turns out, I'm making so much gold selling profession mats that I harvest while questing that it is not a problem. So I'm just going to buy a couple months of subscription.
Cool. Yeah. That's nice that you can do that, too. Are you playing your priest?
I am. I'm playing a priest and a druid. Because druids are kind of hacks. Druids are good. I think they might turn out to be the best healers in Legion.
How's the druid not?
Wow, that's been since, Wrath?
Well, that's...
Ever.
And druids are fun, too, because... They have, of course, because druids have 4 specs, they have 4 different artifact quest lines.
Oh, yeah.
So, and those are all heavy-duty story, and they're really fun. The artifact quest lines, because they're tailored to each spec for each class, I have mind-controlled more in my priest doing these quests than I have in the last 10 years.
I thought they got rid of mind control.
No, it's mind control's there.
I've never used mind control.
Oh, it's mind soothe they got rid of.
That's amazing.
Right, exactly. Now, like, I'm doing quests where they're like, you have to mind control this thing to do this quest. And I'm like, oh my god, mind control. It's really cool being able to do those quests specifically for each spec so they can really tailor the encounters to, you've got this wide toolkit. Here, use some of your skills that you haven't used in 10 years.
Yeah, I really, one of the things I found super fun was doing I found doing the whatever dragon, the staff quest, Zaragoza's quest.
Zaragoza, but they didn't want to kill her. They just wanted to pretend she didn't exist. I'm sorry. It's dragon lore. I'm sorry.
The actual quest for doing the staff, I found really, really fun. And I know a lot of people were like, "This is way too fucking hard," and I was like, this is the best thing ever because I had to use all of my buttons in a good way, which was awesome, right? And then I did the rogue one for the rogues had a dagger in one of the things, and I did that on my rogue, and that was super fun because you have to like poison the guy and like do all this stuff, and so anything that they can make difficult or tailored to like that's super exciting. So.
That's how benediction was 11 million billion years ago.
Yeah, I never managed to get a benediction.
Actually, benediction is how I learned to keybind rather than be a clicker.
Right.
Because you had to hit, the cure disease and heal and flash heal all at the same time. Yeah. Man, I missed that quest. That was a good quest.
Yeah, so it was a good quest here. And these artifact quest lines remind me of these quests that you're talking about.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Definitely, and they're a lot of fun.
Nope, still not coming back.
I'm sure they're not as hard as those ones were.
They're not as hard. No, some of them are hard. I think some of them too. Like some of the order halls are better than others.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm on to you, Arrow. Yeah.
My phone just did the pop-up. I'm sorry.
She's tweeting about how she's recording while drunk on the podcast. It's like, you're still recording right now. Why are you tweeting?
That's the problem with the Apple Watch.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. I'm glad I'm in it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to keep playing through all the story, and yeah.
I heard How are you finding all the changes? Because Talon started playing, and she hasn't played since early in Draenor, and she says she doesn't know how to play anymore.
Oh boy. I like them generally, but then again, like they took a mechanic that I hated with Holy Priests being the different
the chakra thing.
Yeah, the chakras, and they got rid of those. So I can go back to being a Holy Priest now.
Chakras were the worst.
Chakras were the worst. They're not good. So they got rid of those. What I found was when these changes came in with the pre-patch, I was down to one hotbar, and I was like, I don't know about that. But as I'm leveling up now, I am needing that second hotbar with different skills, and I like that. So I'm pretty happy with where they are right now.
How the fuck were you down to one hotbar?
They simplified things a lot.
Ew.
A lot. And now they're kind of adding it back in, which is cool.
See, the Pandaria talent tree really bothered me, so I'm not sure that I like simplified even more than that.
Yeah, they definitely did simplify your available skills with the pre-patch for Legion, and now as you level up to 110, they're going back in. And I actually really like having an artifact weapon. You can find power to...
Do you get an artifact weapon for every spec, or do you have to pick which spec you're going to
No, it's every spec.
It's every spec.
So you could have 3 artifact weapons.
Yes. I have 2 right now in my priest.
Holy shit.
So you get the power to level your artifact weapon from like treasures you find out in the world as well as other activities. So it means that we're like, as Vajra said, I can rob people to power up my weapon? Oh my god, this is amazing. But so you find yourself wanting to explore like the tops of mountains and inside the backs of caves and stuff, so you can find these treasure chests so you can, give like 100 artifact power to your weapon.
Are there enough are you finding that you only can level up one at a time because of the power? Because there's not enough power?
You probably could do both. I haven't bothered just because I only need the one spec right now. I think it would be, at this level, it's a little difficult. Once you get to 110, you can basically boost how fast you gain artifact power, and I think that's going to be a much easier time to do it.
So
That's
I
fair.
heard that Disc Priest was like legit damage.
Yes.
Is that true, or is that only in really shitty pug dungeons?
No. It is, you are damaging to heal now, and that is your...
Holy fuck.
You have a lot of different damage spells. I actually just did
Apparently that's a spell you have now as a priest, is holy fuck.
That'd be a good spell. Yeah, I just did my disc artifact quest yesterday, and yeah, you have like maybe 2 direct heals, and everything else is damage.
Okay, so that's like the Rift Mage healer, I think, was very much like that, and I played that, and it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually seems pretty interesting. I haven't got into it to see how it actually feels for healing dungeons, but I like the idea, and it actually worked better than I thought. I was I was kind of pissy at first, because I'm like, I love shields, don't take my shields away, that's our whole disc thing, we shield. And you do have shields still, but they're not as powerful as they once were, it's much more focused on doing damage.
Yeah. Well, that's okay because they were broken.
Also, I heard Vampiric Touch went away, which also...
as far as I know, it has gone away, but I haven't done a lot with my shadow.
Yeah.
So.
Nah.
But instead, Shadow Priest have
Sarah.
You have Void Form now?
Fuck you.
Void Form?
Void Form? It's pretty cool.
Isn't there a Holy Form now, too, which is nice? That's been...
Not that I know of.
See, I don't know that I care for Void Form from a lore... Sorry. No, I'm going to talk about lore. No, never mind. Never mind. Nobody gives a shit but me. I'm going to go talk to Shouty about it, and Shouty's going to pat me on the head and agree, and that's really all I need.
Yeah, Talon said
Y'all don't give a shit. Could you bring Talon in? Because Talon might care.
I don't know if she'll care about your dragon lore. She more cares about the fact that her shaman doesn't feel like her enhancement shaman doesn't feel like an enhancement shaman anymore, and her monk can't spinning AoE kick and or 1,000 punch thing. Like they changed all the AoE or something.
Void Form is wrong. Is wrong.
No, you don't want to be part of the void.
You're not supposed to be channeling the old gods. That's not what shadow power is about.
Well, maybe you're not supposed to, but...
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's also why I don't read DC or Marvel comics. I can't get behind the whole retcon bullshit. You've already set out the rules of the world. Stop fucking changing them. Or if you're going to change them, tell me why you're changing them.
Because it's now the Amazing Spider-Man and not the Wonderful Spider-Man.
No, shut up.
I think
we can... Sarah forever.
I'm doing the wrap-up symbol. We're wrapping it up
Anyway, I think it seems cool. I'm definitely tempted to play Warcraft again. I'm trying not to because I want to let Talon have her thing for a little while, and it's the sort of situation where she'll play a bit, and then I'll be like, by the way, I'm 110 and did all this awesome stuff. How's that feel? And she'll be like,
you're an asshole.
Yeah,
How are you still married?
So I don't want to do that. That's why I'm
Here's a tip. Don't be that dude.
Good tip. Yeah, Vajra and I are leveling together, so it works out. There's enough for us to do separately, so...
That's how we always did, yeah.
Yeah, and then with the alts and stuff, I think that Draenor was kind of alt-unfriendly with the whole garrison thing, whereas this has been very alt-friendly because I love taking my characters through the artifact quests because they're all unique and different, and I'm like, what's the Warlock story? What's the DK story?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I want to have 10 characters or however many classes there are and on both sides.
Right, yeah, I didn't even think about that. So
I don't know if the artifact stories are different on either side.
I think they're probably the same, and there's a little overlap. I hear the mage story and the disc priest story are fairly similar, so there's a little bit of overlap.
Yeah,
but
that's
so
what
far,
Locke said.
Yeah.
That the disc priest story was not disc priesty.
Right. It wasn't necessarily very disc priesty. The Holy Priest story was pretty good. The Druid stuff is all amazing. So, because Blizzard loves Druids.
Also, troll druids.
Awesome. Troll druids. I know.
I can't do a troll.
Oh man, troll druids are the best.
I've tried to play trolls so many times.
They're like Kool-Aid guys. They're like Hot Topic druids. They're the best.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
but...
Elior is nodding. You're outvoted. Fuck you. Troll druids are the best.
My druid is
my druid is also a troll with the angry face. You know, from 4 years ago.
Ellie's still a Worgen, and they have him fingerprinted as a Worgen. I don't know if I can make him a troll.
Shouty says to tell Ellie he is so pretty also.
Aww.
She doesn't want you to feel left out.
Prettiest podcast. Okay, the fact that I'm sitting in a dark room means it's time to wrap up this podcast.
Okay. Don't sit in a dark room. Turn on your lights.
I turned my lights on.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to get up.
My lights are always on, and I'm.
Well, if your lights came on, we couldn't see your sweet headlights.
Oh yeah, I know, right? I'm really styling here with my LED $25 headset. Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching and/or listening to this podcast.
Yes, play Overwatch with me.
Okay. I'm gonna set it up. I'll set it up tonight or tomorrow, and then I'll
seriously, play Overwatch with me. I'm Arrow 1445.
Whoa, play Overwatch with her, people.
But don't play Zenyatta because fuck you, Zenyatta's my main.
You can't have a main in an FPS. It doesn't work like that.
I've made an Overwatch.
No, get out.
In competitive play, you can only have one of each character per side. And it's really funny. I play a lot of Zenyatta and a lot of Zarya as a tank. And
that's like
I know that
I'm
playing them too much because when I see them played poorly, I get angry.
Yeah, that's like people who play fighting games and are only Ryu or whatever.
Well, it's because apparently Mercy is the best healer, but I don't like playing her because A, it feels too easy because she's straight up Holy Priest. And B, there's too many nooks and crannies and it's line of sight healing, whereas Zenyatta is like a robot druid. But it's really funny because there's you can talk in the match, but you can send macros for certain lines of text. Like you can do a heal me macro, a C heal me. You hit the letter C on your keyboard, whatever. I've had a lot of beer. And people will be spamming heal me while I'm playing the healer, and they're like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I know you need healing. I see that. I see your little critical plus sign that you need healing, but I'm a Pepsi can. I'm made of aluminum, and you did not barrier me, so fuck you. We're all gonna die. It's a really fun game. Everyone should play it with me.
Okay, so play Overwatch with Arrow. If we're doing BNet tags, I'm Lior1422, and you're welcome to friend me. And if you're on Horde...
Something else.
Sorry?
I don't know what mine is.
Oh. That surprises no one. Yeah, especially if you're Horde, we do dungeons on Thursday nights, so ping me and hang out. It's cool.
It totally doesn't matter what server you're on now, does it?
Nope.
As long as you're on the same faction.
As long as you're the same faction, which, by the way, is a thing that still fucking pisses me off. I've been angry about it since Trial of the Crusader.
That is something to get angry about.
Like 7 years? So angry.
It's okay, because Tyrion died, so...
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert!
Well, Tyrion died.
You can't even do that thing anymore.
I was going to say, Tyrion died in the pre-patch event, so if you started playing now, you wouldn't see it anyway, and we have no idea what the fuck happened, so...
All right, this podcast is over.
I'm going to drink more beer and play Overwatch. That'll be great.
Oh, that's a good idea. I think that's going to work out real well. Thank you for watching and or listening. I already said that. We're at liorblog.com/catcontextpodcast. You can find all our episodes there from the last 4+ years because, God, we've got a lot to say about things.
So long.
So long. Yeah, that's it. Bye, everybody.
Also so long.
So yeah. Oh,
bye. Oh, God, that was terrible.